Biden's DOJ has been very busy when they aren't trying to lock up Biden's greatest political opponent or suing companies, including one owned by Elon Musk, for prioritizing American citizens and legal immigrants in the hiring process. Then they're weaponizing civil rights law to go after pro-lifers for praying peacefully while literal criminals run the streets with impunity. But now add to that ever-expanding list the fact that Biden's DOJ is doing the bidding of California's Scott Wiener, the state politician who made it his mission to reduce the penalties for knowingly giving someone HIV. Because diversity and equity even in spreading STDs. Somehow I don't think that's as catchy as their love is love slogan. But Biden's DOJ is going along with it. And now they're filing a lawsuit against the state of Tennessee for enforcing its own state laws, which add an additional charge onto convicted sex workers who are HIV positive. The feds say this violates the Americans with Disabilities Act because they're being treated differently based solely on their medical history. A law that was meant to protect people in wheelchairs, let's say, from needless discrimination at work or on the bus, now means that someone can wander the streets in lingerie and stripper heels, outside schools even, looking for Johns and spreading HIV to them all. So liberating. I, for one, am so glad that we're moving past the days of outdated science and misguided assumptions, as the department's press release actually puts it. Don't these Christian bigots know there are now medications to manage HIV, so no harm, no foul, right? I honestly wish I was joking, but that's the reasoning that they're actually giving in a federal lawsuit. The lower we move the bar for standards of decency, the more people move lower with it. Is that what we really want to keep promoting in this country? Are all the sex workers now having sex in public, especially around homeless encampments and open-air drug scenes in California, really the lowest common denominator that we all need to stoop to? Typhus and other medieval diseases are already making a comeback because of the homeless epidemic. So why not reignite the AIDS epidemic too while we're at it? And then call it a crusade for human rights so that no degeneracy is too degenerate to be left behind. But honestly, who are we fooling? Not God. With our laws, we should be steering people away from such horrible and degrading ways of living, instead of making it easier for them to live their lives in such a way, and in some cases, even encouraging them to stick with it by calling sex work no different than real work. Tough love is rooted in love. It is loving to tell people they are wrecking their lives and are on the path to hell. It is not loving to lie them into damnation and take us all down with them. And if getting all philosophical about it doesn't work, perhaps Tennessee should follow in the lead of Texas and tell the feds, come and take it. We'll keep arresting and charging these people. What are you going to do about it? I mean, honestly, the time to press the advantage is now. Joining us now to discuss all this and a whole lot more is Libby Emmons, the editor-in-chief of the Post Millennial. Libby, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks so much, Kara.
Isn't it just shocking and bewildering to see what the feds choose to go after and prosecute and what they just choose to turn a blind eye to?
Yeah, it does really seem bizarre that they want to decriminalize the willful transmission of HIV. This is something that killed numbers and numbers of Americans in the 80s, killed an incredible number of gay men. This is something that the, gay men's health crisis was formed in reaction to. It's something that really galvanized the gay rights movement. And now they want to say that it's perfectly fine to willfully infect someone with HIV. This is such a dangerous illness for the very community that are claiming that they are protecting by saying that it's okay to spread it.
I know, and that's the strange part, because part of me thinks, are they doing this to just further lock down the LGBTQIA+ vote, as if the left doesn't already have a solid lock on that voting base? But then, like you said, this is the very disease that ravages that community. So how is that helping anybody? Then perhaps we can put on a tinfoil hat and say that, well, maybe what they want to do is to do the bidding of Big Pharma to get more and more people infected, and then to get them on these medications, lifelong medications that are needed to manage HIV so that it doesn't turn into AIDS and then, of course, become fatal from there. So I don't know, there's a lot of very strange aspects to this case.